Hey, y'all guys, this is Tavin Dillard. We're about to get started. We're going to learn about what's going on this fall, how to handle the county fairs. If they already passed, just store it away for next year's. And then also we got all the things coming up with entrepreneurship, how to cut a lawn and how not to catch a skunk.
What's going on, fam? We are back with another week of inspiration, motivation, and flat out hilarity this week. This man we got is
Hey,
probably the greatest comedian on the planet,
ooh.
Tavin Dillard.
Hey, what's going on, Travis?
How are you, brother?
Good, man. Our names are almost the same.
Tavin, Travis, TNT, little dynamite.
There's an A and a B in there and an I in there. I mean, we're getting close.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
at least we know our vowels.
yeah, I mean, I ain't an alphabetologist or nothing like that, but I can see similar letters, when I do, and I did. So I don't know what that means, but maybe that's why we friends.
Hey, there we are, and here we find ourselves. Where are you joining us from? Tell the people where you're at.
I'm in Chancellor Park. It's where I live. It's a trailer park I live in. I'm a single wide. My meemaw, she's two trailers over. We did live in the same trailer for a number of years, but it just worked better. You know how it can be with family. And then I
Mm,
was making enough money as lawn mowing man, kind of branch out a little bit like that
yeah.
way. So that's how that is.
What are we gonna do after lawn mowing season?
Well, it's winding down, I tell you. It's getting cooler, lawns are dying, and
Mm,
what I'm looking to do, I've already started volunteering, but they may pay me is that the nursing home, because at the nursing home they ain't got seasons there. They don't never stop. But I say they ain't got seasons, but they throwing like fall festival parties, Halloween's parties coming up, and the more stuff they got, the more help they need. They making arts and crafts down there. People try to escape down there, and I'm pretty limber, so I can stretch my haunches out and catch folks. And a lot of them ain't fast, but they a little bit sneaky. So that's
mm.
kind of the fall right now for me.
I like that. I think it's a solid game plan. Plus, you probably got a lot going on with Mima with the hair, and if she gets winding up, start throwing things.
Yeah, I do. And I try to stay out of that as much as I can, but she got a 91 Buick Regal, and sometimes she need a ride down there. She don't let me drive her car unless I'm driving her in her car to like a hair appointment down at Early Bird Gets the Perm. And so when she get down there, they pretty much know not to schedule my Mimo with this old gal named Mabel Childers, because the two of them, if they see each other, uh, there's liable to be a fight. Now Mimo, she kind of cooled off in her later years here. She don't start fights, but she do still finish them, and that's how that goes. So they try not to have Mabel scheduled the same time. If they in the same aisle at the Walmarts, that ain't good. The aisles ain't big enough for the two of them to pass each other without something going down. Somebody will throw a little jar of calcium supplements at the other one. Mabel throw the unwrapped Twinkie at Mima here recently. She unwrapped it before she throwed it just out of spite, kind of thing. And she got a good
Mm.
arm, so there's
I,
always that going on.
I heard about that. And Mabel, I mean, between Mabel and Millie still stealing donuts, or we got that kind of under control out
I
there?
never know what Millie's going to do. At the donut party that Cheryl and Shane Grubbs, they own the donut store in town called Donut Goes. They just renamed it and everything. They had a donut party. All that is you just put out little flags and you play music and you call it a donut party, but they ain't free. It ain't like cake at a birthday party. You still have to pay for the donuts, but they just try and get business. Well, Millie shuffle in there and she used her age because she can't hear too well or see too well. And she just used that to be like a permanent coupon. Like wherever she goes, she just takes something. And they said, not today, Millie. And I can't guarantee she ain't gonna do it again because she just played that card. And I think it is a game, but sometimes it's hard to tell. She caught a skunk too, and she thought it was a cat. She wanted me to help give this cat a bath. I'm like, Millie, trying to talk her down, like you gotta let that thing go, and she released it. But that little skunk, she's holding it like it's like an adult skunk, not like a teenage skunk, I don't think. But I ain't a skunkologist neither. But it was like bank, bank, like I don't speak skunk, but it was pretty much saying, "Can you help me, sir?" Like that on a front porch. And I was like, Millie, you want to give that cat a bath? She goes, I sure do. And I was like, well, you gonna do his hair? She goes, sure am. I'm gonna put a bow in that cat's hair. And the skunk didn't know nothing about that. He was like, I don't know about that kind of thing. I said, why don't you go get your hair dryer? Just go in your house, get your hair dryer. and come. And she goes, "That's a good idea." So she dropped that skunk and she turned into her house. And that skunk, like it ain't got thumbs if you know nothing about skunks, but I'm pretty sure it kind of gave me one of these, like, "Thank you, sir," and it took off. And Millie came out, I don't know, 30 minutes later. She forgot what she went in there for. And I don't want to say I saved the day, Travis, but I'm saying they got a happy skunk. And I don't think Millie's going to see that skunk back around her house no more because it knowed better now.
He's getting a bath and some bows.
Yeah, that was the plan, but I guess I kind of helped foil that plan for the skunk.
For the skunk, in the skunk's favor.
Yeah.
What else is going on this time of year? You guys got fall festivals, fairs?
Yeah, we had a county fair in August. That was a pretty big deal. You know, they canceled softball that week. You know, I'm on a softball team every Thursday night, and they didn't do that because they had, you know, all the fair people either had stuff they was showing at the fair, or they wanted to go eat food at the fair, or they wanted to, you know, go play the games at the fair. Now you got to have a plan going to the fair because it costs money, and I always bet on the sure thing, which ain't the games. It's always the food. You know, you start with the food, like the corn dog, maybe end the day with the funnel cake. I that's usually not what I start with. Deep fried Oreos. They got butter on a stick, deep fried. You just bite into that thing, it bleeds butter. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, you got to expect a mess, but that's the price you pay, is the way I see it. And so I do that first because I know that when I spend my money and it's gone, I'm going to get something that I like. I throw a basketball in a hoop that's kind of weird shaped and it bounces out and I don't win no teddy bear. Firstly, I don't want a teddy bear. And B, by the time you spend $10, $20, you could have bought 3 of them at the Walmarts, you know. So that's kind of my plan at the county fairs. It's mostly food first, but I also, I don't know if I told you this before, Travis, but I had a business booth in the business barn at this year's county fair for my lawn care service, Tavin's Lawn Services. And you just shake hands and hand out brochures.
That's it. How'd the booth go?
I got rid of almost new all business? Of them. Well, I think so. Yeah, I've got a little bit of business from it. I gave a bunch out. People caught my number, kind of thing, and I was able to get a little bit of work. And they do all kinds of things in there that they don't need to do. Like one of these companies I thought they was a real estate company. Turned out they was life insurance. Made more sense after that. They had a little one wheel, you know, them a little electronic one wheels. You balance on them and you just well, Myron Curtis tried that and he shouldn't have, and I don't know why they let him. And he upended a lady with a large lemonade. And as the beginning of the day, she had on like sandals and cargo shorts and a little tank top and a sun hat, and a little kid that was holding a Jupiter, paper mache Jupiter display. Boy, that thing looked like a smashed raisin once she upended and landed on that. Lemonade everywhere. And I was like, this is all over this life insurance thing, putting Myron Curtis on a one wheel in the business barn.
All bad.
All bad. And that little kiddo was sad. They had to hang up his little smashed raisin looking Jupiter in the display with them other kiddos. Like he wasn't coming home with no blue ribbon.
No ribbons.
No ribbons. And then that lady, they gave her a coupon for another free lemonade, but when you already covered in it, you don't really want another one that day. So you know, I mean, that's just the thing. So I don't know if anybody signed up for that life insurance, but maybe that was their plan. Hey, if you get hurt, they're like, see, you never know where danger may be. Get some life insurance from us. But that was a mess. And that wasn't too far from my little booth.
Do you take Mima with you, or is she kind of not safe at those?
She got her own plans. So she got a car, that 91 Buick Regal. Her best friend Tabby Jean Tipton's got a car, and then she got this friend Claudia, and the 3 of them, I just let them go if I can help it. I ain't trying to be in Mima's everyday business because she has a way to find trouble, as they say. So
she's known around town.
She got a reputation. I'll put it that way. She got a little bit of a reputation. Like I said, she cooled off a little bit, and you put her next to Mabel Childers, Mima looked like an angel, but the 2 of them together, that ain't good.
All bad. Oh man, I like it. So was the lawn care business, have we had it for a while? How's the entrepreneurship? Do people look at you? Are you a big deal now in town? You got a lot of lawns?
Well, here's the deal. Yeah, I got a bike and I got a lawnmower. So most of the years I got a rope to the handle, and then from that rope to the seat of my bike, and I'm pulling that thing in town, which is fine until you start getting jobs 10 miles out of town in the country, and then you trying to do, you get, let's say, 6 acres to mow. Well, then I've been borrowing folks zero turn, which is a bigger, the riding lawnmower for that kind of stuff. But it's word of mouth. I mean, that's what I learned, Travis. They got the social medias now. They got the social medias, but people that done worked with you, they tell other people, hey, boy, that boy can cut. He can cut and edge. Cutting, edging, lawn mowing legend. That's what I say.
And do the folks at Donut Goals, are they, I mean, you really kind of put them on the map.
Well, I don't know. The thing is, Donut Goals ain't existed since like July or August. The donut store's been there for years, but Shane and Cheryl Grubbs bought it and they renamed it. And then now it's all of a sudden, now I've been shooting videos down at Donut Goals. I shoot every Wednesday, I do a donut video just because, it's kind of something that just happened. I'm going to eat them anyway. Might as well show you what I'm eating, kind of thing. They got apple frittlers down there. They got the standard glaze. They got the chocolate glaze. They got them cake donuts. They got the, that I guess I didn't ever pay no attention, but they got just cake donuts, and then they got glazed cake donuts that are a little shiny.
I didn't know. Okay, there's a difference.
Yeah, the cake's just all dry. It's like I'd rather have a glaze. That kind of sets it apart. But then they got blueberry, so that's what I get down there. But yeah, I don't know if I put them on, but definitely marketing, and you probably know this, Travis, is a big deal. So how you present your brand. So I'm putting together a shirt for Donut Goals. I did their logo, and it's like on the wall at the store. And then I think we're just gonna take that logo and try to put it on a shirt.
Whatever. On a shirt. You got a lot. You're juggling a lot between the lawns, the nursing home, the donuts.
Yeah,
it's a lot. But when people need to get a hold of you, they just shoot you a text, right?
That's right. Yeah. My number's 501-322-6249, and people just boop boop boop, and they let me know what's going on. Now this summer, I made a lot of watermelon helmets. You can just make a helmet out of watermelon, and for whatever reason, that took off. And folks were sending me pictures. They texted me, check out this watermelon helmet. I was pretty impressed. People really dialed it in. Cooled you off in the summertime, but now we transition it out. Actually, I got the shirt. I don't want to rip it. So I made the shirt because people want to wear a watermelon helmet, but you can't wear it. You can't wear it all year round. I was like, well, now you can just, and it says share it, then wear it, because you share the watermelon. You can't eat a whole watermelon yourself unless you want your guts to get all tore up. Even half a watermelon will do that. So you share it and then you wear the helmet. That's the idea. But what do you make a helmet out of in the fall?
Ooh. Do tell.
It's pumpkin season.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello, fall.
Season. It's a beautiful thing. So I get it. People are carving little pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns anyway. You just got to carve it a little different so it fit on your head. And I had one last week. In fact, I just posted a video this morning, today, with the pumpkin helmet on. But they don't last long, just like unless you put them in the freezer. But the thing about it in the freezer, once they freeze, if it froze a little smaller, you can't get that thing on your head till you thaw it out. Ooh. And the other thing is, this is just behind the scenes helmetology.
Pro tips.
Yeah. The other thing is, if you do get it on when it's frozen, you get a brain freeze like you just ate a snow cone in 3 seconds. Like like you can leave it on there maybe 30, 45 seconds, and then your brain starts freezing from the frozen melon or whatever it is on your head, pumpkin or watermelon. So, hey, it's an art. It's an art to have one and to keep one. So, the easiest thing is, and it ain't easy, is you make a new one every week, or every time you want one. You don't freeze it ever, but then you throwing away them old ones. So, it is a lot to juggle.
Could be year round.
It really could be. You can have watermelon. And there's a feller on Instagrams that reached out to me, and he's making a prototype. He wants to make me a watermelon helmet out of plastic or whatever. So then you just put that on. You don't have to worry about your hair getting wet. You don't have to worry about going and finding a melon. So I'm interested in seeing how that turn out. He said he'll send me the progress, and so we'll see. But if you see me in a what do they call it? Not disposable, I guess a permanent watermelon helmet. That's what happened. So.
Where do these people find you? Everybody wants a watermelon helmet.
Instagrams is where most people found me. As an entrepreneur, and you do a lot of social media too. You know how there's just seasons where people find you on one place and then they find you on another. So that's where I'm at right now is Instagrams. But I still post the stuff on the TikToks, what I'm doing, and the YouTubes. And then where else do we go? Patreon. That's the one with like the virtual tip jar where you got folks patrons that support you there. Yep. So we do a little bit over there, but Instagrams is where like the watermelon helmet guy found me and other folks. So
I love that. Yeah. We had a couple issues. Donnie Wayne Chambliss with the hand.
Yeah, the fishing tournament a couple weeks ago. Well,
how's that? Was, bad beef there, bad blood, or are we okay? Tell the folks what happened. Tell the folks what happened.
It wasn't really me. It wasn't my incident with Donnie Wayne. Here's the thing. You ever try to do something nice for somebody and you feel like, well, that didn't work out. About that. So he went to help Hank Thistle. Hank Thistle's an older fella in town, and he entered the fishing tournament. So he got a little fishing vest on with all his little gear on it kind of thing, and he's trying to get down to that water. Well, Donnie Wayne sees him try to cast his thing before he even gets in the boat, or maybe he just step in the boat, but whatever he do, he hooked the back of his own vest and he just yanking that thing. So Donnie Wayne go out there to try to help him. Well, while he's trying to help, Hank do all this stuff, that hook come out and it catch Donnie Wayne in the right hand. Now, Donnie Wayne got a repair shed. His hands are like leather. It's like wearing leather gloves. So it still caught him and he still bled, but he the kind of fellow to just kind of take it out and he go on with it. Like he been cut by other things before, probably lawnmower blades and everything else. So it wasn't so bad in that way. And I don't think Donnie Wayne was even in the tournament. His repair shed's right there by the lake, and he's out there to help Hank. And Hank didn't say no. There wasn't no thank you. There wasn't no, you a good old boy. Hank was mad that he couldn't fish anymore in the tournament because he lost his hook and then he fell in the water. Myron Curtis came there trying to help Hank, and he was in a pair of Crocs and they don't hold up well under a muddy riverbank. And then he hit Donnie Wayne. Donnie Wayne hit Hank, and the whole thing was like a Three Stooges episode right there next. I mean, you in 4 foot of water right on the edge of the bank, and then the only thing Myron caught was his Croc. Like I guess them things float. So one of them came off and then it came to the surface, and then Hank got out and he was done. And Donnie Wayne was just trying to help and he got caught in the middle. And that's how it is sometimes. You try to help and then you look around. It's like, what in the world just happened? I got a hook in my hand.
Are you you do any fishing yourself? Do we do any special lures with like bacons or?
Well, I don't like to use the actual bacon because it's too hard for me to let it go and not eat it myself. But I know that there is that idea like, well, but if you use the bacon, you catch a fish, you eat the fish. I get that, but I feel like I can catch a fish with something else and then eat the bacon too. That's the way I see it. But I did some fishing. I caught my first fish this summer with a buddy, Cliff Pace. He's a Bass Pro fisherman. He's been trying to teach me how to fish. And then I got a video. I ain't even got it put together yet or showed nobody, but me and Cliff did a fishing tournament one day where we're keeping score and I trying to beat Cliff, and you could probably imagine how that went. But that video will be up one of these days whenever we get it put together. So yeah, I like a little fishing. I don't catching's a little harder, but fishing I'm pretty good at.
I like that. A lot of people come to me, they ask me for, like financial advice. And so when they see you around town, you're crushing it. You're doing a lot of lawns, a lot of helmets. Mm-hmm. What's your financial advice to these folks, these kids that come up to you? Tavin, you got 2 bicycles, 3 bicycles, a single wide, right? Like, how do I become you?
You gotta be saving more than you spending. Mm. That's first things first. So if you can't afford it, don't act like you can. That's the thing right now. I'm saving for a truck, but then my swamp cooler went out, and Mima's 91 Buick Regal had a little air conditioned thing. She's supposed to go to Gatlinburg in it. So I helped her out. So next thing you know, all this money over here for this 93 Ford Ranger I'm saving up for. Oh, swamp cooler. Boom. Knock that money down. Oh, Mima's air conditioning. Boom. Knock that down. So what do? I go back to work, and then you start building that back up again. And it just take a while. Sometimes it feels like you moving at a snail's pace, but at least you moving. That's the way I see it. So that's what I tell folks.
I like that. lot of people want to know a little bit in your personal life, especially I told people, I said, hey, we're going to chat, things like that. And they were like, what's the deal? What's the deal? Is he with cricket? Is he not with cricket? Is he single? Is he not? It's, it's a little personal, but
no, that's fine. So here's what happened. There's a gal I growed up with named Cricket. I ain't seen her in years. And then I ran into her. She started delivering produce to the burger shed. Now the burger shed is where I spend at least 3 meals a week down there. And that's the softball team I'm on. So she's delivering produce from her daddy's farm, and we started hanging out. And then she got a job in town at the nursing. She don't live in my town. She don't live in my county, but she started working at the nursing home. So we decided here in the last year we'd be going steady. So I'm dating her. She worked at the nursing home. So I'm telling you, like this fall, I start volunteering and maybe working there. I'm gonna see her more because I don't have a car. So when she's home in the next county, I ain't there. So it's like we basically, with our busy lives, we see each other when we can, which is the softball fields, because sometimes she goes to watch the game. Sometimes she help in the concession stand. Mary Beth Tucker worked at concession stand a lot. And she a mess. She had bad ideas, but she keep trying to do them. Like she tried to have a pasta bar. It's like, come on, just Skittles and hot dogs. Why are you doing a pasta bar? And she put them in a little wagon. They's too low. Somebody's little toddler with their wet fingers and a soggy cup of Cheerios, drop that all in the pasta bowl, getting them noodles themselves. Like, you ain't gonna serve that now. And then she had a cupcake decorating thing. It's like, that's a little ledge on the concession stand. You can't have all them things up and still try to hand people they change. And that's a nightmare. But anyway, sometimes Cricket comes down there and helps with the chaos. And then sometimes she's at the nursing home in town. But yeah, we going steady. I might see her soon. I got a early bird gets the perm shirt for her. So yeah,
I like that. I like everything about that. I got a buddy of mine. His name's Ryan. He's real keen on starting this ice cream business. He wants to do like donut ice cream sandwiches.
Okay.
What's your take? What would you say to him? Any advice?
Make sure that ice cream's cold. You don't want runny ice cream on a sandwich. I know that much. So you better have the freezers. You better have the space to keep that stuff cold. But everything else about that sounds like one of the best ideas ever. Because so
you're behind it.
You got donuts and you got ice cream. I mean, that's like a win-win. And then you put them together in a sandwich. I mean, how can you beat that with a dessert or even a breakfast? Truth be told, you're like, well, it's a donut. Yeah, there's ice cream in the middle, but it's a donut. It's mostly a breakfast sandwich. You could get away with that, maybe. I don't know.
Definitely a breakfast sandwich. Speaking of breakfast sandwiches, that apple fritter, I mean, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, she hits a spot, right?
Yeah, it's the size of a pillow. It could actually, the same one could, if depending on your appetite that day, you could have some for breakfast, some for lunch, and some for supper, and it's the same one because they're so big. Or other times, it's hard to stop. So it's just a breakfast, send you into your day. I love them things. Them are great.
I love it. Top three donuts. Top three. Do we have a top three, or do we just get everything?
Apple fritter is at the top of the list. And it's a donut. Some people, I don't know if they think like, well, if it don't have a hole in the middle and it ain't round, it ain't a donut. But that ain't true. There's a whole family of donuts. We got the fritter. I like the standard glazed twist. It's just it's a glazed donut, but it's bigger. And then the chocolate bar, depending on where you live in the country, some people call it an eclair, but there ain't nothing in the middle. There ain't like a cream-filled center. It's just a Long John or chocolate bar. The long ones with chocolate on the top. Those would be my top three.
Okay.
But there's very few donuts that I'm mad at. I mean, if we're going to go that way, I like them.
Yeah, there's really no reason not to accept a donut.
Right.
Yeah. No,
totally
I agree. Yeah, totally agree. Well, good. Tell these folks once again, give them that phone number. They've got questions for you.
Yeah, you can text me at 501-322-6249 and then tavindillard.com, or I'm at Tavin Dillard on Instagrams and TikTok and all that too. So I'm out there.
Man, I love it. I'm excited to see what fall brings for you, and keep us posted on the watermelon helmet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you may see it before you hear about it. We'll see. But I appreciate the time, Travis.
I appreciate you, brother. We'll talk soon.
All right. We'll see you.